Have you ever gotten ghosted by somebody that you were texting and were planning to meet up with them, yet before the date actually happened, they ended up cutting off the date, or worse, ghosting you? In this video, I'm going to talk about why this happened, how to not respond to further humiliate yourself, how to respond so that you walk away with power, and most importantly, what you can do to prevent this from happening ever again. I am approaching this as someone who has been on both sides of the equation, so I come at it with sympathy and experience. I'm going to read out to you a comment that was on a Facebook group that I'm part of, where a girl, upset girl, she messages the group to ask for advice, and I'm going to read it out to you. So, I've been talking to a guy I met recently, and I'm a bit curious about cultural differences in dating between here and the UK. He actually seemed very thoughtful and genuine. He's a dad, asked me a lot of questions about my life, and overall came across as a really kind and a respectful person. We talked quite a lot for about a week before he even asked for my number, and a couple of days later he asked me out. We agreed to meet next week, which I was really happy about, but since then I haven't heard from him for almost a week. I'm Italian, and in Italy people usually keep texting a bit more once the date is planned. Maybe in the UK it's just a bit different and people prefer to wait until the date. I'm hoping he'll reach out soon and confirm the plan, but I was wondering if this type of communication is normal here. Right. Okay. What happened here, guys? What happened here? What happened here is that when two people are texting, when two people first meet each other, or they match with each other and they want to start getting to know each other, what propels this forward? What encourages and motivates this interaction? Like, why would a guy text her? Is it because he likes her? Is it because he knows her? No, not her. He doesn't know her. He's excited by the idea of her. This fantasy is a predecessor to attraction. It's a precedent to the first date. A fantasy is a fantasy. It's not a reality, right? But this fantasy is really important because it motivates the person to engage with you. This fantasy is what gets people out the door. This is the fantasy that gets people to text you, that gets them to think about you throughout the day. What are they doing? Who are they talking to? What are they like? What could my life be like if I get with them? This fantasy is what compels people to enter into a relationship, into an arrangement, anything with you. Now, as time goes on and people actually get into a relationship, this fantasy will naturally dissipate. Fine. But you don't want to chip away at this fantasy too soon, because if you do, there is no reason for people to engage with you in the first place. Think about when you are watching a series. The movie directors, they don't reveal what is happening in the first episode. If they were to do that, you wouldn't have the incentive to watch the second episode. What they do is they give you emotionally compelling scenarios to keep you engaged. And in fact, they end the episode on a hook. This hook is what motivates you to watch the next one and next one and next one. When they give everything immediately, well, there's no reason for people to continue watching the series because they got what they came for. The longer you're able to prolong this emotional experience, the more likely that the person will be excited to see you. When we're dating, it is really important to prolong this until the first date. Okay? So even though it's tempting and it's really exciting when people are asking you questions, it's exciting to know that somebody's interested in you. I've been there. But by revealing everything all at once, you are chipping away at this fantasy. On the other hand, what works well is gradual revelation. This gradual revelation, it keeps the person at a little bit of a suspense. If people want something, we don't necessarily need to give it to them. This sounds illogical, but when we want something and we get that thing, we no longer want it. How can you desire something that you already have? The million-dollar question. How can you continue wanting something when you have it here? Right. So the fantasy principle. People are not attracted to you. They are attracted to the idea of you. So every word that you text, it either sustains this fantasy or it shatters this fantasy. The likelihood of you sustaining that fantasy in those 10 days is like close to zero. Okay. The next thing she said is she was wondering if this is just a British man thing, or in Italy it's very different. It transcends borders, guys. Men are still men in Africa. By the way, this behavior does not pertain to men. This is human behavior. Like I said, I've been in a situation where I'm messaging a guy, and one day I'm really excited to get to know him, and then after I kind of know everything about him, it's just I lose that interest. I'm not proud of it, but that's what happened. Okay, so guys, how to not respond to these messages. Your initial reaction will be to tell him how you feel. It will be to express your annoyance and to put him in his right place. A message that you should not compose is a message with emotion, agitation, accusation, and length. So this is what she said that she wrote to him. This is an example of a message you should not send, and I will explain to you why you should not send a message like that. Okay. I don't think your behavior was fair. If you're not ready because you're still finalizing your divorce, you shouldn't be on dating apps getting to know someone and asking personal questions like you did with me. It took me a long time to open up again and again, and I did that in good faith. We were just supposed to meet and get to know each other, not get married. You're going to lose the person midway. Okay. Another girl suggested, and this is an example of a well-meaning advice, but not productive. She said, basically, this is very hurtful. After intensive communication is confusing for me. If we're going to meet this Friday, I prefer we continue talking, and if not, I take it as a cancellation. If the other person's attraction was decreasing, right now his attraction is complete. Like, it's heavy. It's a lot. It's heavy. It's accusing. People want, like, at least in the dating stages, in the fun, it's meant to be fun. You're meant to be getting to know each other. And I know he didn't act correctly there, but he acted like a human being would. His attraction fell, and he acted on it. He no longer pursued her. When you reply with something heavy and you show your agitation and you want to correct him and you want to show him how it's meant to be done, you are pressuring the person, and that you're cutting off the flirtation, right? Right now, her position is in a minus. He's in a plus position. Why am I saying she's in a minus? Because her emotional state is depending on him. She is yearning for him. This relationship matters to her more than it matters to him at the moment. So she's waiting for his reply. She is wondering where he is. She's in the minus position. Okay? In order for her to get back to the plus position, which is where you want to be, which is where you have the power. This is difficult, but you can do it. And when you want to reclaim your power, your messages should be short, concise, and unbothered. This is what you would say. This is what I would. Just before I read it out, the guy actually, he sent her a follow-up message. And this, I'm going to read this out first. The follow-up message he said to her is, hey, sorry about this, but I'm going to have to cancel Saturday. I have some things going on at home. I'm finalizing my divorce, in brackets, and I'm not sure dating is the best thing for me right now. Apologies for messing you around, and I appreciate that you might not want me, but I was wondering if I can reach out when things are a bit more settled. Angel, this is the kindest response you could ever expect to get. Like, the guy actually realizes he's being a bit of a douche, and he's like, I'm sorry. And to sort of like soften the blow, he's like, can I reach out to you when I'm in a better place? Like, it's very clear to me what was happening here. The guy is going through a divorce. When you're going through a divorce, you're automatically a minus. Like, no one's giving you emotions, no one's paying you attention, your wife is hating you, your kids are whatever, you're just in a really shitty place. So you get on an app and you start to find people who can give you that emotional fulfillment, who can make you feel good, who can answer your questions, who are like flirty and kind with you. It's normal. We want to fill this lonely, shitty hole that we're in by talking to someone. Ironically, by filling that emotional hole, he satiated his desire for to feel better, and now he no longer needs it from her. Because what I'm feeling here is that in those 10 days she showed a lot of engagement, involvement, attention, and he just got all of it now, and now he doesn't want it anymore. So what I would say back to this message is, I enjoyed chatting with you, but it sounds like it's not meant to be. Feel free to reach out, but I can't promise I'll be around. That's it. You do not need to say anything else. You now, from your minus position, you are now a plus. Why? Because you said, look, I enjoy chatting to you. Great. But it sounds like it's not meant to be. Now, feel free to reach out, but I can't promise I'll be around. What you're sub-communicating is like, I have a life. Like, if you don't want me, that's fine. But there's plenty of other guys that I can talk to, and look, if you reach out, I'll probably be somewhere else. Now, by setting this boundary in his head, you from being a minus is like, oh, she might be around. And then he might, if he reaches out again and says like, hey, I would not pursue this. I might test this, how it would go, but just not get emotionally involved with this guy, because I do not want to get messed around. Anyway, some girls were saying, block him, move on, tell him how you feel, and then block him. He's not worth your time. By blocking, you show him that you care. By blocking, you show him that you're annoyed, you're sad. By sending him paragraphs, you are sad. You caring about this is not going to make him care anymore. That's just the unfortunate truth. The more you tell him how much you feel, and the vitriol you're spewing on him isn't going to get you from a minus to a plus. Okay, guys, how do you prevent ghosting from happening when you are texting somebody? Easy. Keep the texting to organize dates and to just the logistics. Occasional check-in, occasional hey, occasional. We do not want paragraphs. We do not want to hear lengthy stories and offloading your childhood trauma via text messages. Keep the lengthy conversations for when you're actually together. And even when you are together, you do not want to offload immediately. Gradual revelation, guys. Gradual revelation. So yeah, leave texting to arranging dates and logistics. And like, they had in total almost 10 days of chatting. Oh God. Okay. People will undoubtedly respond or have something in their head along the lines of like, Elena, that sounds like you're playing a game, and I don't want to play a game. I want to be honest and authentic in my relationships. My friend, life is a big game. Life is a big arena where power dynamics are always at play. And if you choose to ignore them or not acknowledge them, that doesn't erase power dynamics. They will always exist whether we like it or not. They are neither immoral or moral. They just are. It's like getting angry at a bird that shits on your window. It just is. It's neither good nor bad. It just is. You can choose to be ignorant of how attraction works, but that doesn't make power dynamics and the forces of attraction to disappear. They just always are. Now, those who refuse to acknowledge the game of power don't become virtuous or good or pure or authentic. They become victims, and they get walked on, and they feel useless and powerless. I've been there. And they get manipulated by people who do understand the game. When people say, I don't want to play games, I just want to be authentic. Look, are you authentic when you go in for a job interview? Do you just stroll in your sweatpants and your dirty t-shirt and you're like, look, just hire me for who I am. I'm authentic. Or do you come in and you're prepared, you have everything written out what you're going to say, you turn your flaws into weaknesses, right? Are you authentic when you're negotiating for a car? Do you just take the first price? Or are you a little bit more smarter? Why should we be authentic in love? We have to be strategic. Then we can start to be authentic with people who actually pass that initial filter and with people who deserve the full of us. You don't have to be cruel. You can still hold and keep on to your humanity and still have power. But in order for you to do that, you need to recognize that power dynamics exist. Thank you.